fortune. Gotta walk through a fire for what's important. The warrior's blood through your veins is coursing. Kill for hire, soldier of fortune. The whole world's watching every move. Take your shot, don't act a fool. All you got and all you ever need is one bullet in the chamber. Really needs to take your game, but ain't nobody gonna save you. So what you gonna do? Ain't nobody gonna save you. So what you gonna do? Do or die, you're a mercenary. One of a kind that you're burning to carry. Go and make them proud, do what's necessary. Oh no, do or die, you're a mercenary. Now the whole world's watching every move. Take your shot, don't act a fool. All you gotta know. One bullet in the chamber. Rain needs to take your game, boy. Ain't nobody gonna save you. So what you gonna do? One bullet in the chamber. Rain needs to take your game, boy. Ain't nobody gonna save you. So what you gonna do? Now the whole world's watching every
If it's Thursday night, it's time for Mystic Racing League action. Welcome, everyone. I'm Ellis Thomas, joined in the booth by Chris Smith. Tonight, for Slingshot Racing Media, the Mystic Racing League continues with race number 3 at Phoenix Raceway in Avondale, Arizona. Drivers are going to tackle a unique 1-mile low-bank tri-oval featuring distinctive dogleg turns that add an extra layer of strategy to the race tonight. Unlike the high-speed pack racing of Atlanta and Daytona of weeks past, Phoenix demands precision and tactical prowess. The track's asymmetrical layout and variable banking challenge drivers to find the optimal line and manage tire wear effectively. Chris, we're right outside the Estrella Mountains, and Estrella in Spanish is the word for star. And these mountains were named by Spanish explorers possibly because of their distinctive shape and appearance on the landscape. We've got several drivers who might shine bright like a star tonight based on practice speeds, including Colin Bollinger, Bobby Rafferty, and of course 2-week-in-a-row winner Daniel Dow. What are they going to have to do tonight to make it to victory lane?
Well, they're going to have to tackle a track that races a lot like a short track, Ellis, but it has a big track feel to it, big track speed to it. It's going to be high-intensity action all night tonight, 130 laps around this 1-mile oval right here, this strange oval. Expect 2 pit stops, 2 changes of tires in the pits. It's going to be a night of great action.
It's great action, and it's all brought to you from Manuforte Crafts. That's the sponsor for tonight's race. Founded in 2023 and located in Columbia, Tennessee, Manuforte Crafts makes beautiful handmade wooden tools that will make your life easier. I'm sure some of those drivers are going to want their life easier tonight. It's actually run by the number 88 of Robert McKay and his grandfather, Walter. They specialize in jar openers and puzzle boxes. Everything's made with Tennessee Eastern cedar and care. For information, visit their website at manufortecrafts.com or scan the QR code on the side of that 88 car tonight, Chris. We were talking about that 88. He's going to be starting in 15th tonight. We had some technical difficulties getting started. We're going to work through those this evening, but it's time to get going. Pre-race is going to have to wait because it's time to take the green flag here in just a couple of laps, which means we need to figure out who's starting where with the starting grid tonight. On the pole, Colin Bollinger in the 53. It's the first time we've seen him up there this season. Second is Bobby Rafferty in that number 7. And then 2-week winner Daniel Dow. He won Daytona and Atlanta, is going to be starting 3rd, followed by Rayshawn Winklefield in the number 23, starting on the outside of row 2 in 4th position. In 5th, it's going to be Evan Janik with Adam Holston, who had a strong run going at Daytona and was in contention until the very last lap. He's going to be starting 6th tonight in that number 8. Keep an eye on him. Number 45, Derek Jewett had a strong run at Atlanta as well. It's going to be starting 7th. Kevin Winker fast at Atlanta as well, going to be starting 8th. Christian Barnes in that 27 going to have to come from 9th position tonight with Alex Pollock. We're going to check with him in a little bit and see what his heart rate's doing. He's going to be starting 10th. He's going to have some action to get through early. Joshua Gillen starting 11th in that number 10 car. Andrew Shobe, meanwhile, in the 69 will come from 12th on the outside of row 6. Caleb Hunt starting 13th. Gavin Henson starting 14th in that number 39. And then we mentioned the Manuforte Crafts. 88 of Robert McKay going to be starting in 15th with Reggie Kime to his outside in 16th. Bradley Knopsider in that 87 coming from 17th tonight. Brandon Willard's got a lot of work to do in the 12 coming from 18th. Zach White 19th starting position tonight, followed by Harold Tucker III starting 20th in that 79. Jared Knopsider and Devin Lyons will be starting on row number 11 and 21st and 22nd respectively. We're getting ready to come to that green flag here. Drivers working with their way down that back stretch. Chris, that's the old front stretch at Phoenix. It's still hard to get used to after all these years, after it even changed 6-7 years ago. But right now, that 53, that's who our eyes are on. Colin Bollinger starting on the inside on that pole. He's getting ready to lead him down to the green flag. Here we go, slowly working their way through the dog leg. It's Bollinger and Rafferty. Green flag wave. So the first time tonight, we're underway at Phoenix. We're still pacing. Never mind. They're going to give us an extra lap, it looks like. Yeah, they added one at the last minute. They decided they want to get our heart rates going just a little bit. You know, we're working through some issues on track and off right now, Chris. It is going to be a great night of racing. That is absolutely for sure.
Yeah,
Chris,
and,
I believe this is the first time Bollinger has raced with us this season.
Yeah, I think that you're right. I could be wrong, but, we've only done this 1 week, so we're still trying to get used to some of these guys. So, yeah, I think that you might possibly be right. So, be looking to see what he's got tonight in that Diet Dr. Pepper machine.
He is going to have a handful. He's got 19 cars, 20 cars actually lined up behind him. And I think, Chris, this time we're going green for real. That number 53 is going to be leading them down through the field. And we are underway for the first time tonight at Phoenix. Great start for the number 53 of Bollinger. He is off to the races right now, down through that dog leg. Chris, we're going to be watching that all night long. One of the big stories, Bollinger off the pace. Not sure what happened to him. It's going to throw the lead over to Rafferty right now. Daniel Dow slides into second in that number 2. And we got one car on the wall. Big trouble down the backstretch. Surely we're going to have a caution, and
yes,
we do. It looks like that 10 car got into a little bit of a melee with a couple cars. One car very hard into that outside wall down the backstretch. Let's see if we can't figure out what happened and return to the scene of that crime.
Yeah, let's go back right here, watching the 10 car right here of Joshua Gillen. He was low here on the front stretch, and I'm not sure if this was another car possibly or not right here. Oh, yeah, here we go. This is the Harold Tucker the third. Yeah, let's go back here. We're gonna rewind, watch Mr. Tucker right here. He's inside of that number 12 right there, Brandon Willard. Oh, Willard takes a hard hit into that outside wall. We're going to go back again and maybe catch, we kind of caught that a little bit late. There's that 79 of Tucker. You got the 12 of Willard right there in front of him. And you see how high the cars are on the track. You got multiple options down there in 1 and 2. Yeah, just some contact to the left rear of Willard. The 54 of Devin Lyons looks like he was also involved.
Yeah, that 79, contact with the 12, hard. That's that car I saw just going head on into the wall. Hopefully both of those drivers are okay, I'm sure. Physically they are, emotionally maybe a little bit disappointment after coming out of the race 3 laps. And they believe they have one quick repair tonight, though.
Ellis, and yeah, I'm afraid that we are going to have to do a reboot of iRacing, so we'll be right back with you here. We're still here with you, folks, but unfortunately, the sim has crashed, so we're going to try to get back in there and get back in the
actually
session.
crashed on my end as well, so it might... I'm not sure what's going on with iRacing right now. It's one of those nights where there's lots of technical difficulties to spread around. Hey, if you're joining us, we are going to do a couple things tonight. We are giving away a free 1/64 scale diecast. We gave away one last week. We're doing it again this week. Tonight, we've got a Connor Nile 1/64 scale Bit Nile car that we're going to be giving away. We're going to do 3 trivia questions. And the way it'll operate, first 2 correct answers to each of the trivia questions in the chat will get a point. And the fan with the most points at the end of the night gets a free diecast and sent to them for absolutely nada, nothing, 0. It's on the house, Chris. And looks like iRacing might have come back up on my end.
Yeah, and you might have noticed on our ticker as well that a lot of the numbers weren't matching the numbers, on the scoring pylon.
It was a data issue for sure.
Yeah, and we'll, hopefully, sometimes iRacing does have these little issues, so hopefully, we'll get back in here and everything will be squared away. Yeah, we appreciate your patience while we try to get this booted back up and going again.
Yeah, just bear with us. We're working through a couple of issues, but nothing we can't handle here. I'm glad it wasn't just me who's experiencing some turbulence here in the cockpit. Looks like we might be good to go. Bobby Rafferty going to take the green flag. We're underway once again after a lap 1 caution. It's Rafferty and Janik. Daniel Dow, last week's winner, the week before as well. It's going to be 3rd. Rayshawn Winklefield in that number 23 just gets passed by Adam Holston. That bright blue car on the outside, 3 wide there for a moment off the corner. Plenty of great racing action going on right now. That looks like it's the number 45 of Derek Jewett on the inside. He's got company with Rayshawn Winklefield on the outside. That's a boys paint scheme, looks like. That is a Is that a Homelander paint scheme for that number 23 on the outside? Doing battle now with Christian Barnes in the 27. Bobby Rafferty scored as your leader. It's going to be Evan Janik in second. Daniel Dow now third. Settling down just a little bit up the front of the pack. Bobby Rafferty, that's a good-looking paint scheme. Had a lot of speed at Atlanta in that Ancient World Gaming Toyota Supra. Making it look pretty good right now out front with about a half a second lead in that number 7. Started from the pole, hasn't lost much from there.
Yeah, and if you're noticing right here, our numbers align again, so I think that issue has squared itself away, so hopefully we'll be good for the rest of this evening right here. Yeah, Rafferty's got that thing out in the wind right here, and it's looking pretty solid right there through turns 3 and 4.
Looking really solid. Bobby Rafferty, great week last week, as well as several other drivers. Just looking for his stats from last week. Bobby finished 9th at Daytona and 9th in Atlanta, so 2 top 10 finishes to start the season. Right now, 8th in points. Tight battle going on with Reggie Kime and Benjamin Gerhardt for that 8th position right now. But Rafferty, he's improved that quite a bit. But Daniel Dow, Chris, the points leader, winner of the last 2 races, is slowly creeping into the picture for Bobby Rafferty. About 0.4 of a second right now as he ride on board with Derek Jewett in that 45 paint scheme, trying to catch back up to Adam Holston, who's one of the fastest cars right now on the track amongst the leaders, right in that number 8 right in front of him. Chris, walk us through a lap here at Phoenix. How difficult is it to get around this place compared to Atlanta and Daytona that we've been at for the last 2 weeks?
It's definitely a different world, Ellis. It's a lot like a short track. It races a lot. I don't like to classify it as a short track, but it has some short track characteristics and tendencies to it. So as we see Derek Jewett right here, he's a good one to ride on board with. He is coming through turns 3 and 4 right here, and we'll sort of start this lap with him right here. I think he's going to cut the dog leg. He's done it the last couple times right here. There's the start-finish line. The dog leg, very unique and unusual for a racetrack. He cuts it trying to shorten that up. That can be dangerous, though. Turns 1 and 2 down here, Ellis, very different than 3 and 4. You see, you got some options. It's like a lot of these drivers are diamonding this corner right here, starting high and coming back down. Lewis Jewett tags the wall a little bit right there. 3 and 4 are a lot different, Ellis. Heavy on the brakes. Really just kind of single groove, one groove around the bottom right there. A lot tighter radius corner right here. And that's a lap around Phoenix.
Yeah, you made it look easy, but it's definitely not that easy. Derek Jewett's got a lot of speed tonight, Chris. He is trying to hit one out of the park in a home run tonight, and coincidentally, he shares a birthday with Babe Ruth. So
cool.
Right now, good run going on for Derek Jewett in that number 45. Working on Adam Holston. He's got the number 42 of Kevin Winker right behind him. Winker had a pretty good run last week at Atlanta. Finished 3rd. Had a fast car all night long. Ended up not having enough to get by Daniel Dow, who made that last lap pass. But he's going to be the one to watch out. Right now, 12th in points, Chris. Didn't run with us at Daytona, but strong showing in Atlanta. And right now, he's looking to work his way up into the top 5 for the first time this evening. Derek Jewett having a great run, Kevin Winker having a great run in that 42. 14 laps of 130 in the books from Phoenix right now. Bobby Rafferty scored as your leader. Daniel Dow in second. Evan Janik running 3rd position right now with Evan Holston and Kevin Winker not too far behind, Chris. Great battle going on for 10th position right now between Alex Polick and Caleb Hunt. Battle for the 10th position. And I'm curious, can we do a check-in on Alex Polick's heart rate? We've got him hooked up with some technology tonight, and curious to see how he gets a little bit of the wall there, what it's like riding on board that number 92, how his heart's going right now.
Yeah, riding on board with him. Actually, we're going to take a look, and I'm going to put you maybe in the passenger seat of that Shell Pennzoil Ford right here. Riding on board with Mr. Pollock right here. He is at a cool 115 beats per minute. He's a little bit more excited, I think, than Brett Krim was last week at Atlanta. You know, and here at Phoenix, man, you got to work hard here. This isn't a track, you know, where you can just take it easy. You definitely got to be up on the wheel here. So we're definitely seeing that out of Alex. He is up on that wheel.
And you can see him kind of gain some and then lose some. That shows you the diversity of the different sets of corners here at Phoenix. We've just come out of 2 races, Daytona and Atlanta, where the corners are almost identical, and you're almost full speed most of the way around both of those tracks. Chris, we didn't get a chance to talk about it in pre-race, but tonight's going to be one of those races, the first race of the season, race number 3, where I think we do see some of the drivers with the really high skill levels begin to shine. Not that the guys who finished up front at Atlanta and Daytona were short on skill, but tonight it requires, as we mentioned, a little bit more technical prowess as we watch a great battle going on right now between Kevin Winker and Derek Jewett. Kevin Winker in the number 53 of Colin Bollinger, who technically started on our pole. We're still not quite sure what happened to Colin at the start of this race, but that number 53, Chris, is one of the fastest cars on the track, and that number 53 Dr. Pepper car gets by Derek Jewett relatively easy. Winklefield, Rayshon Winklefield gets by him fairly easily on lap number 18 of 130.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we have had another crash right here. So we're going to try to get. We were able to get back pretty fast last time, so we're going to try to do the exact same thing here. We definitely apologize for this. And
yeah, no, iRacing is glitching out on my side too. I'm not sure what we got going on.
Yeah, we'll try.
But Bobby Rafferty continues to lead right now on lap 19 of 130. Daniel Dow second. Looking through the field for some other battles going on, Chris. Adam Holston has a real fast car trying to get by Kevin Winker. I think that's been a battle going on for the last couple of laps. Winker is definitely the fastest car on the track. Bobby Rafferty continues to run fast laps, but right now, looking that time by, fastest car on the track was Bobby Rafferty. Actually, Daniel Dow was a little bit faster. Dow clocked the fastest lap that time by. And Dow has had a season, Chris. 2 wins in a row. 1-1 at Daytona. He's first in the points, not shockingly at all. And I don't know if this guy can put a foot wrong. Second tonight, probably looking to make that even better. While this is going through the motions here, maybe we might take a quick break and hear from some of our partners here at Mystic Racing League and Slingshot Racing Media. We'll be back on the other end of this quick break.
Hey partner, I'm Barry, your pocket crew chief, the very first AI-powered mechanic for sim racing. Got a car that's a little loose or tight? Just tell me how it's handling, and I'll whip up instant setup recommendations just for you. Want me to get even more precise? Snap a picture of your setup and I'll fine-tune it to perfection. And hey, I'm not just about giving orders. I'll explain why every adjustment matters so you can really understand your ride. I'll even teach you the science behind the setup. Ever wondered why the track bar is so important? I've got the answer. With Pocket Crew Chief, I'll make you smarter, faster, and race ready. So what are we waiting for? Let's build to win.
All right, back here from the virtual Phoenix Raceway, Bobby Rafferty in that number 7 edges out just a little bit further ahead over the past couple of laps. Looks like he's got all the speed right now over Daniel Dow in that number 2. Janik right now in 3rd, Evan Janik that is. Kevin Winker in 4th with one of the faster cars on the track. Derek Jewett also has some speed in that number 45. You have to go look back at 53. Bollinger, to see him dropping back just a little bit. Had a lot of speed early, Chris. Talk to me about the difficulty of tire wear. When are these drivers going to start experiencing maybe some poorer handling conditions once the rubber wears off those tires just a little bit?
You know, Ellis, this track is not as, severe as some other tracks that they're going to go to this season in Mystic Racing League. The tire wear isn't that significant, but that right front will give up here. That's going to be the corner I think that we're going to have to keep our eyes on the most. And Ellis, passing around Phoenix is super difficult. It is one of the more difficult tracks to pass. And we see right here in this battle right here between Colin Bollinger right here and that 45 right there of Derek Jewett. We see them right here battling for this position, and they're going to have to, they're going to have to get this settled out right here because that 8 is gaining on them from behind. That is Adam Holston right behind them. So, this is a difficult track to complete that pass.
Yeah, Adam Holston has lost a little bit of ground recently. He's working his way back up. That 53, I should have said, is Bollinger, and right now he is running some of the fastest laps on the track. Chris, the pole setter, he had some issues. I'm wondering, we talked in the break if they might have been related to some of the issues we are having. And he has worked his way all the way up from, I think, the 17th, 18th position after falling off the pace the very first lap. He's worked his way up to the 5th position. He's got the fastest car on the track, absolutely no doubt about that. I think Rafferty, Janik, Dow, and Winker are all going to be hearing from that 53 before you know it. Winklefield back in the 8th position. Barnes in 9th with Alex Pollock in 10th. And this is a good little battle here you mentioned, Chris. These guys got to get it settled out, Winklefield, Holston, because Barnes is right there on top of them. Going to be some major issues here. This is a track where things can go awry very quickly. We saw that with the lap 1 incident between a couple cars that put us under caution not too far long after getting started. 31 laps in the book of 130, about a quarter of the way here through the race, number 3 at Phoenix. Oh boy, Chris, this is a tough track to race at, and I think right now with 20 cars on track, these drivers, they're saw on the wheel. I've seen a couple drivers through their front windshields struggling with the handling early on. Yeah. Rafferty continues to lead, but you walked us through a lap, Chris, and you made it look easy, but we saw the driver we were riding along with have trouble.
Yeah, and we're actually following right here the battle for the 7th spot right here. Rayshawn Wingfield under some pressure right here from Christian Barnes. LSU, you made note of it. Rayshawn right here in that boys, the boys paint scheme right here. Are you a fan of the boys?
I am. I've watched all 4 seasons. It's a good TV show. Probably not for the youngins to watch, but it's a good show nonetheless for those who are of age. But it's a good-looking paint scheme, patriotic paint scheme. We got President's Day coming up here this week on Monday. Let us know in the chat if you're still sticking with us watching as we watch Alex Pollock's heart rate climb through the roof. Let us know who your favorite president is in the chat right now. Let us know who your favorite president is. Past presidents only, please. We're history teachers, so go as far back as you want to. Starting with George Washington, let us know who your favorite president is in the chat right now.
And Ellis, this is not the only superhero-themed car in the field tonight. Alex Bollinger right here, he isn't a Diet Dr. Pepper paint scheme, but it's also a Diet Dr. Pepper Dr. Doom paint scheme. Got Dr. Doom on the side of that Supra. Dr. Doom in the news a lot lately, considering who's going to be playing him in the MCU coming up.
I think it's Robert Downey Jr. Right?
That's right. Yeah, very exciting news. So that's a good looking ride.
That is a good-looking ride, and it's just as fast as it looks good. Colin Bollinger in his debut here in the Mystic Racing League at Phoenix, making it look easy. Well, kind of, after some first-lap mishaps, and looks like the 45 going to go low. Derek Jewett trying to make a pass on that 23 of Rayshawn Wakefield. I think I'm going to say that right after about 4 times of mispronouncing it. And Barnes is right there behind him. Barnes has not gone away. This has been a battle that has been brewing on the track for the past several laps right now as we watch the 23 of Wingfield escape just a little bit, but that throws Jewett into the throws of the number 27 of Barnes.
Yeah, Barnes closing up right on the back bumper. Look at Barnes right there. Very, very disciplined right there in the center of turns 3 and 4. Got a great bite down there on the bottom. Put that left front right on the yellow line. And the drivers who can do that, look at him running the apron down here in in turns 1 and 2. I got to think about it, Ellis, because I want to say 3 and 4,
Yeah.
with it being reverse. But you can definitely run down there on that apron, use it to get a little bit of bite, use it to get a little bit of turn. It's like Jewett's going to hit, some contact, maybe some netcode contact possibly between the two of them there in turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, and that 87 had walked up the track just a little bit, maybe a little bit of distraction for those two drivers. They both get going, no problems here, a little bit of contact, but all the drivers are going to continue on. The 45, that's Derek Jewett along with Barnes, and by timer screen, Chris, the technical difficulties tonight for iRacing, that's Christian Barnes in that number 27. And boy, yeah, folks, bear with us. We're doing our best here, but iRacing and the data transponders have been crashing on us a couple times. Lee Campbell in the chat, Chris, saying hi. Lee Campbell, we miss you from Slingshot Racing League. We're glad you can join us tonight. Watch this great racing action. The 39 now, Henson creeping up onto the back of Alex Pollock. As we watch one car, I believe that was
the 8 of Holston.
The 11 the 8 of Holston back in 11th position tagged the wall. The 87 finding his way up the track as well, struggling just a little bit, getting put a lap down, working his way, trying to stay out of the way of traffic. Doing a decent job so far right now. But you can see right now that 92 Alex Pollock gaining a little bit of ground, pulling away just slightly from that 39 of Henson. And go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, that was some really, really intense action right there. It looks like Adam Holston maybe struggling a little bit. Oh, we got a caution on the speedway, Ellis. We're going to see if we can locate where this problem has occurred. I'm having a hard time locating and see. Haven't been able to locate anybody yet, Ellis. Not sure. Oh, maybe, actually, it looks like Robert McKay right here in that,
88.
that number 88.
That's unfortunate. Yeah. Sponsor of the race.
Yeah, we're going to go back here because it might just be damage. So we'll go back here and we'll see if we can see maybe if something has transpired here between... No, it doesn't look like it. Maybe that's just damage from earlier, so I spoke a little bit too soon. It's a little bit difficult for us to find the crashes tonight, folks, so we do apologize for that. We're going to see if we can maybe determine what happened, but yes. He did tag the wall right there off of turn number 2, and we see the 69 of Andrew Shobe right there trying to look to make that pass, but yeah, unfortunately with the data issue, it is a little bit difficult for us to tell exactly what has transpired. We do have cars on pit road, Ellis.
Cars on pit road for the first time tonight. Not surprised. Driver's going to come down and get some fresh Goodyear rubber on those Xfinity cars, and I think they're in desperate need of it based on some of the handling that we've seen out a lot of these drivers for the first time tonight. See who wins the race off of pit road. A couple cars coming off there.
The 71 of Evan Janik. It looks like he's going to win the race off pit road.
And he had to have a fast pit stop to beat out Bobby Rafferty, because I believe Janik was in the 3rd or 4th position when we came down pit road here at the start of this caution on lap 43. We're going to take a look at that, but yeah, Janik is going to be your leader from this point forward. Daniel Dow is going to come out 3rd right behind Bobby Rafferty, Kevin Winker 4th, and then Bollinger is up to 5th in that number 53, Rayshawn Winkfield, and the number 23 is up to 6th. And then it looks like Hunt in the number 78 has worked his way up to the 8th position.
Ellis, it looks like he's actually back on pit road in that Twitch machine, coming to the service of his pit crew. So not sure if he had a little bit of trouble on that pit stop, but yeah, he's decided to come to pit road again, along with the number 10 of Joshua Gillen and the 69 of Andrew Shobe right here. Ellis, based upon the numbers that we got in pre-race, there is no way that these drivers can make it to the end from this point right here.
Yeah, we were told, 55 laps on roughly a tank of fuel, so this would put us at, about lap 100 or so, leaving them 30 laps short. So at least one more pit stop for those drivers who came down pit road, and definitely one more pit stop for any of the drivers who stayed out. Chris, might be a good opportunity to try to take a quick commercial break while we get a couple things restarted and fired up here. We're going to hear from our partners, and we'll be back here from the virtual Phoenix Raceway in just a couple minutes. Stick around.
Hey partner, I'm Barry, your pocket crew chief, the very first AI-powered mechanic for sim racing. Got a car that's a little loose or tight? Just tell me how it's handling, and I'll whip up instant setup recommendations just for you. Want me to get even more precise? Snap a picture of your setup, and I'll fine-tune it to perfection. And hey, I'm not just about giving orders. I'll explain why every adjustment matters, so you can really understand your ride. I'll even teach you the science behind the setup. Ever wondered why the track bar is so important? I've got the answer. With Pocket Crew Chief, I'll make you smarter, faster, and race ready. So what are we waiting for? Let's build to win.
Okay. All right, back here, getting geared up for a restart at the end of stage number 1. It's going to be Evan Janik and Bobby Rafferty on your front row as we get ready to go green. Again, pace car peels off a little bit early down that backstretch here where pit road is. It's going to be on Evan Janik to mash that throttle. He is going once again way down there on the apron. We're going to hang tight for a second.
I think that they're going to do possibly another lap right here, Ellis. And we did get some clarification right there. It's my fault because I did get notified about this, but in the chaos of everything that's been going on, it slipped my mind, Ellis. That was the stage break. Got to get used to these guys and their stage breaks, but we'll get more and more familiar with it. That was the stage break, so there was no contact for yellow there.
Yeah, that's why we're having trouble finding that that caution. That's okay. These things happen, but we are going to try to get underway once again, and we mentioned it's Bobby Rafferty who's going to be leading that charge. They're going to work their way down the backstretch. Try to get stage 2 started up here in just a minute, and we believe we said stage 2 is going to be until lap
80. Yep.
80. Okay, yep. So about 35 laps on this particular stage, and then that will take us to the final stage for the final 50 laps or so. Right now it's Rafferty and then Daniel Dow on the inside, getting ready to come to the green flag here, and there it is. We are underway once again at Phoenix. Rafferty and Dow race down through the dogleg. Kevin Winker now shoots up to second position. Rafferty working that high line like an expert right now, Chris. It's Daniel Dow on the outside of the number 2. Or sorry, in the number 2. He is working his way by the 53 of Bollinger, who's been fast all night long, trying to hang tight in that second position. We saw him have speed in that first stage. Chris, the story of the night, I feel like, is Bobby Rafferty just having a dominant run over the entire field. 2 ninth-place finishes this season in the first 2 races, and he's looking like he's setting sail for potential victory tonight. He's got some swagger here on lap number 48, but big battle going on behind him right now. Looked like the 23 of Wingfield wanted to take a little bit of a shot at the 2, pop his nose out, let him know he maybe had a little bit of speed. Look at the run that 23 carries off the corner. Can't do anything with it as they cross the line to come to lap 49.
Yeah, these drivers
and
right here.
Kevin Winker almost in the back of the 23.
Yeah, they're really tight right here through turns 1 and 2, Ellis. And yeah, you mentioned it, Bobby Rafferty. You know, not to say that the first 2 races don't matter, but you know, we start to get a sense of maybe where everybody sort of, you know, lies as far as their speed goes on a week-to-week basis tonight. As Rafferty is under pressure right here from the 53 of Colin Bollinger. He's going to look to the inside right here. He's going to narrow up turns 1 and 2, Ellis.
Good job for the number 53 of Colin Bollinger. Works that inside masterfully to take the lead. One car slightly into the wall there. That was Wingfield. No harm done, though. And yeah, Bollinger, one of the fastest cars all night, shoots the lead. P1 for the first time tonight for Bollinger in that 53. Rafferty maintains the second position, but boy, Dow's got company with Rayshawn Wingfield in that number 23 looking to the inside in that red, white, and blue boys paint scheme. And Chris, I'm really surprised. I shouldn't be surprised necessarily, but the different lines emerging, drivers making use of multiple grooves on the track right now.
Yeah, you see them down here in turns 3 and 4, and there's not a lot of options down here. You see the 2 of Dow up high right there. That's just because he's side by side, for position here. But down here in turns 1 and 2, Ellis. Take a look at them. Like, look, the 2 up there of Daniel Dow, like, he's got some speed because you can run down the hill right there and really get a lot of straightaway speed. Look at this thing motor down the straightaway. That's very impressive out of that 2 right there.
Yeah, very impressive. Almost contact there. Looks like the 23 might have grabbed the back bumper of last week's winner, Daniel Dow, who's trying to chase down Bobby Rafferty, but Colin Bollinger has set sail off to the races. Watching Kevin Winker jump down to the inside, try to take advantage of the 23, maybe having to lift out of the throttle just a little bit. It's Bollinger, Rafferty, and Dow. Popped out there for a second, Chris. I thought we shut down once again. And right now, single file amongst the top 10 or so, all the way back to Adam Holson in the 8th position, or the 10th position in that number 8.
Yeah, and Holson right here is under pressure right here. It looks like from Caleb Hunt possibly behind him. Actually, that's the 12 of Willard. I think the 12, yeah, Brandon Willard a lap down. And he's going to blink out right there. But, battle's going on all over this track, Ellis.
Yeah, Willard was involved in that first caution. Looks like he's got it going again, but a couple laps down right now. Colin Bollinger loses a little ground to Bobby Rafferty that time by. Looking through the rest of the field, some good battles going on here. You mentioned that 78 right now, Chris. Doing a good job of working that high line, trying to regain some positions after some pit road issues put him. I'm not sure if you lost your connection or I might have lost my connection, Chris. We're back now.
Yeah, we're back. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I'm trying to get my data working right now, and it just keeps on shutting down. I might have to pop out for just a minute, Chris, and try to do a reboot. I'll let you take it away for the next couple of minutes. I'll be back momentarily.
Okay. Yeah, and right here, it's the 12 of Willard. It looks like he tags the wall right there. Caleb Hunt's going to work inside of him along with that number 88 of Robert McKay. Yeah, these guys right here battling right here. This is not for position, but close action right here on the track. This battle is for position right here. We saw Evan Janik right here. He won the race off of pit road, but fell to the back of the field. Not sure if maybe there was a penalty of some sort right there, but he's trying to work his way back up through the field right here. Doing a nice job in that Amsoil number 71 Chevy. Close action all over this 1 mile speedway tonight. And for folks watching at home right here, and we do have some tight action going on right here. Looks like for the 6th position, that will be Derek Jewett in the 45, along with the 39 of Gavin Henson. Seems like we've seen these cars together a number of times tonight. Yeah, this is one of the more, I know I brought it up earlier, so I'm not trying to beat a dead horse right here, but I mean, what these drivers are doing tonight is extremely difficult. It is really hard to complete a pass on your competitor around this track. The drivers that are using the top lane, especially down in turns 1 and 2, they can utilize that momentum all the way down the backstretch to hold off a driver who's maybe rotating through the center of the corner a little bit better than them. And down in turns 3 and 4, you got the run to the dog leg, and you can really use that dog leg to, sort of narrow the track up, shorten it up, and, and try to hold off that guy trying to gain that spot. Got Gavin Henson right here under some pressure possibly from Andrew Shobe.
All right, Chris, I am back. You got a copy.
I got you loud and clear.
Trying to work through these technical problems. Lots of folks in the chat chiming in right now. Joshua Gillen letting us know from inside the source what's going on. Appreciate that, Joshua, keeping us honest here. Connor Lyons in the chat saying who's ready for the Daytona 500.
Contact, Ellis.
Contact there.
Yeah, between the 69 and the 39, Andrew Shobe and Gavin Henson down the backstretch. A little door-to-door contact, but they're going to get away with it.
Chris, how nervous are you when you're taking that outside line and the driver below you goes into the dog leg and takes that dog leg way, way below? How dicey is that?
It's pretty dicey right there in turns 1 and 2 right there between these two guys. But, yeah, it's very dicey, Ellis. you never know how much they're going to cut it. And you know, there's no guarantee that driver on the inside is going to use the dogleg. So if you're, you know, on the outside of them, you know, you've got to kind of, you know, judge, you know, off of the right side of their vehicle. So you kind of got to be looking out the left side window there to decide whether or not you're going to try to, you know, run down there or not. So, you know, they don't have to run down there, Ellis. They can decide that, you know, they don't want to run down there that lap. And, you know, that's a quick way to find yourself in trouble.
A very quick way to find yourself in trouble. That 69 and the... Sorry,
39.
I have no data. The 39.
Yeah.
Right now, good little battle going on track between the Shobe and Henson here for the 8th position. You mentioned it. It is a dicey track. This is the most challenging track this season. One of the things to keep an eye on right now is the night. What is the night conditions do to the handling of these cars? Does it make it harder to drive or easier to drive? What does it do to the speed and handling?
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit easier. Kind of, you know, definitely the speeds are a lot higher, a lot greater. The grip does go up. Kind of makes those drivers feel like Superman, which, you know, also tends to lead to a little bit more aggression typically. So yeah, I think that I think this track right here is. I don't know that you see a huge difference between day and night here, maybe compared to some other places. But you definitely see some faster lap times right here as this battle for the lead, Ellis, is getting a little bit tighter, a little bit closer here between Colin Bollinger and Bobby Rafferty.
Bobby Rafferty closing the gap to about half a second. He was over a second back just about 6-7 laps ago. How much tire you think Bollinger used up in the first 10 laps of this run so far, Chris? You think he's used a little bit of that Goodyear rubber and eaten up a lot of the good off that tire? A little bit too early, maybe?
It's possible, but, you know, that being said also, Ellis, it could just be a situation where maybe he's had a couple bad laps in a row right there, because it seems like here in the last couple laps he's kind of gotten it back together and has gotten back, you know, on his A game here. But yeah, he's looking a lot better right here, and that gap has kind of stabilized and maybe increased a little bit between himself and Rafferty. So, you know, this is a track right here where if you do miss your marks, you can definitely find yourself losing some ground, you know, fairly quickly. And this is not, you know, this is not a track where you can gain and lose, you know, a lot, you know, over the course of, you know, it definitely takes a, you know, pretty significant mistake. So, you know, right there passing that lap car, you lost a little bit of ground too, and that's always something that can also hurt you.
Yeah, right now, Bobby Rafferty continues to close the gap to Colin Bollinger, who is your leader and has had one of the fastest cars on the short run tonight. About 10 laps left in this stage. If Bobby Rafferty's going to get the stage win, he won stage 1, looking to claim stage 2 here in that number 7. Daniel Dow, the number 2, the points leader, 2 weeks in a row has won the race. Tonight, he's running 3rd, not used to sitting that far back in the running order. Meanwhile, Rayshawn Winkfield of that 23's doing a good job in 4th position. Evan Janik up to the 5th position. Kevin Winker kind of lurking back there in that number 6 back in the 42 car. Derek Jewett in the 45 is running 7th. Andrew Shobe in the 69 is 8th. Henson 9th. Alex Pollock is running in 10th position right now. And just looking through the field, 15 cars on the lead lap right now. Boy, look at that 45 of Jewett. Cut the dog leg, upsets the car, Chris. That's one of my most nervous points on any track, I think, is when I'm pushed below that dog leg and I've got to go down there and you got to come back up, how much it upsets the car. And you saw a great view of it right there from that 45. Curious if we can ride on board with the 69 real quick of Andrew Shobe, just seeing what he's seeing as he does battle with the 39 of Henson there. You can see Derek Jewett about quarter of a second ahead, and boy, he's to the outside, and Shobe rolls that inside, and he's going to try to pass, but look at the run that the 45 is going to get off the corner there. That shows you how much speed these drivers can carry.
That is, you know, prime illustration right there of what I was talking about earlier, about how difficult it is to pass here. Andrew Shobe drove it in probably a little deeper than what he wanted to right there, I think, and car kind of got a little bit out of shape on entry, and that's actually going to cost him a spot right here to the 39 of Gavin Henson right here. Lap car right here in the way, possibly. Knopfsnyder does a nice job of staying high right there, giving these guys some room. But, yeah, you know, you saw him really gain that ground on corner entry, and then he kind of lost it all back and then some on corner exit, Ellis. This place can be extremely frustrating trying to complete a pass.
And you can see it. You can try to make that pass, but someone can quickly roll to the outside and just make your life a living hell. Just putting the pressure on. Look at this gaggle of cars right now. You see Reggie Kime back there in that number 9. Trying to get by Alex Pollock. He's trying to get by Andrew Shope. 5 cars lined up on top of each other, relatively close quarters, racing here at Phoenix. It's lap 75 of 135 laps remaining in this stage. One car gets the wall just a little bit. I'm not sure if that was net code or actual contact, but we're 5 laps away from the stage in, and right now this is a battle for points right now. It's that number 92 trying to claw his way back further up towards the front. And that 45 right now is in 7th. Henson right behind him underneath right now. The 39 is 8th. It's Shobe and Pollock there. That's the battle for the final stage point back there in that bright red number 94 or 92 Shell Rotella car. These cars are definitely the hardest racing on the track right now. There's another battle going. Oh, contact there. Looks like Henson might have gotten the back bumper of Derek Jewett. No harm, no foul. You can see Shobe off the wall down the backstretch, Chris. These drivers are driving hard as they can right now with just 3 laps before we get ready to conclude stage number 2. You can see that heart rate from Alex Pollock up at the top right screen. That thing is climbing towards 115 beats per minute as he tries to get by the 69 of Andrew Shobe to solidify his position in the stage points for the final 2 laps of stage 2 here at Phoenix Raceway for race number 3 of Mystic Racing League. Bollinger, Colin Bollinger that is, continues to lead Bobby Rafferty by 1.1 seconds. Daniel Dow holds station in 3rd, Rayshawn Winkfield in 4th, Evan Janik in 5th, Kevin Winker 6th, and then that's where this battle begins. Derek Jewett in 7th. And Chris, right now, close-ish battle going on between Winkfield and Janik. A little bit further up, these guys are battling for those stage points. You can see Winkfield in the number 23 trying to hold off Evan Janik in that black and blue number 71. Looks like they're going to be coming to the 1 to go here for the final lap of stage 2, or at least when the leader takes it here. We might actually have 2 laps left, depending on when they decide to throw the caution. Janik doing everything he can.
Yeah.
Look at how he rolls that corner.
Yeah, that car is looking really good. He has come from the back of the field, and he's got a lot of speed in that car. Oh, maybe really close to some he pitches that car sideways into turn 3. Winkfield's going to tag the
23
wall.
into the wall. Big contact. You can see the donut on the right side of that number 23. Hard racing between Winkfield and Janik there. Goes a little bit awry. Both cars continuing to go straight, though, right now. Winkfield rolls to bottom. Not sure if he's going to be looking for a little bit of payback there, but Janik's going to get the better end of that battle. He holds station in 4th. Caution flag should be coming out momentarily. Bollinger is going to win that stage. Bobby Rafferty 2nd. Daniel Dow is going to be 3rd. Evan Janik is 4th. Winkfield is going to hold that 5th position. Kevin Winker 6th. Derek Jewett 7th. Henson's going to be 8th. Andrew Shobe 9th. And Alex Pollock will finish out the stage in 10th position for those points. Chris, I'd imagine we're going to see a herd of cars come down pit road for the fresh tires for what very well could be the final run of the evening coming up on these final 49 laps.
Yeah, and this is their final set of tires lying in the pits. So they have 2 sets lying in the pits, and they will go ahead and take this one now. They can definitely make it to the end on fuel. Their final stretch to the end right here. Don't know if we'll see anybody maybe try to gamble here. You can't really do that here, Ellis. It's just too hard to pass, too difficult to get back up through the field, even if you do have a slight tire advantage.
And they're going to be doing their best to get some track position here. Watching them come down pit road. It's going to be Bollinger, Rafferty, Dow, Janik, and the number 23 of Winkfield leading the charge down pit road. And you mentioned it's everything. Everything is going to go into this final pit stop. You got to hit your marks perfectly. Can't afford to slide down pit road into your pit box. Have to back up. That could lose costly seconds on pit road. This is a long pit road and a slow pit road speed. Here comes the number 53 of Bollinger, and almost in unison, they slide into their pit stalls. You can see the right side of those cars lift up as the tire changers change the right sides. They'll move over to the left side. One car coming down pit road really fast. Winker might have taken 2 tires on that stop, Chris. Gutsy call, Rafferty and Bollinger side by side. We're going to have to review the tape on that one. That could be a big turn of events. If Rafferty was able to get by Bollinger, based on my timing, it doesn't look like it. Chris, Andrew Shobe in that 69 stayed out. What do you make of that call, that John Deere car to stay out?
Yeah, I think that he's, kind of mentioning what I was talking about before. He's got another set of tires lying in the pits. Maybe he wants to wait a little bit. Maybe he figures that this isn't a race-winning move, but maybe he figures this is a move that he can get a better finishing position than he would have gotten if he decided to, continue on with, the same strategy, status quo as everybody else. He was running around the 10th position, if I'm not mistaken, Ellis, so this could work out for him.
I think you definitely could work out. I was going to see if he's in the chat, if we might be able to pull him in and maybe hear about his strategy. We're about to get going under green, though. Might try to get him under the next caution. Right now, that pace car is going to be getting ready to pull off on the track in just a moment. And Chris, I'm really curious how that number 69 car is going to handle. And really the 42, we got a varying group of pit strategies here. The 69 on old tires, 42 on 2 new tires. Then you got to go back to third of Colin Bollinger to find the first set of fresh tires. Looks like maybe a penalty on the 23.
Yeah, he's
dropping to the back of the pack. Not sure what's going on there with Winkfield. Having a little bit of trouble, but might just be going to the back of the line. I'm not sure if he got an EOL or maybe a pit road violation. Pace car's lights come back on, though. Looks like they might be trying to sort a couple things out right now.
Yeah, we'll see if we get the one to go here.
Yeah, it's going to put us with about 45 laps left in this race. Final third of the race coming up. And just to recap where we've been, Bobby Rafferty really has been the consistent car of the field tonight. He's led much of the race. Colin Bollinger has been a close second in terms of short run speed. Shobe and Winker have been running consistently somewhere around 6th to 9th position. So you got a couple wild cards up here. You're going to have to get by these guys. It is not going to be easy. They're going to make it hard. They chose this pit strategy because they want to win. Pace car is going to pull off here, roll them down the backstretch one final time before we come to green, Chris. Kevin Harvick is known as the closer, and Phoenix was one of his best racetracks, Chris. Are we going to see Andrew Shobe or maybe even Kevin Winker pull a Kevin Harvick move and really finish out the race stronger than they started it to walk away with a victory? Are we going to see one of the guys who's been up front most of the night, Bobby Rafferty or Colin Bollinger, win? We're going to find out here in just a minute. Green flag out. Shobe with a heck of a restart. Winker struggles to get going there. Chris, I don't think Shobe could have asked for a better restart. 71 to update, got caught speeding on pit road. That is a black flag for the 71. That's what put Janik back on that restart. But Shobe continues to lead.
Oh, we got trouble. That was the 88 in the inside
88. 88 is going to bring out the caution potentially. Not yet. Is he going to tow? Is he going to get it going again? The 88 continues to try to turn it around. Looks like he's going to get it going again. McKay, been a tough night for the sponsor of the race, but that does not change what's happening up front. Bollinger to the outside of Bobby Rafferty. Both cars who took no tires or 2 tires have dropped back at least a few positions. Colin Bollinger and Bobby Rafferty making moves early, Chris. Daniel Dow, though, coming out of nowhere, 3rd position, looking to get by Rafferty for 2nd. He's had about a 3rd-place car all night long. Can he make some magic happen here to claim win number 3 in a row at the first 3 races? He comes up to the right or left rear quarter panel of Bobby Rafferty, and boy, Chris, all gloves are off right now.
Yeah, definitely so. Riding on board right here with Daniel Dow. He's showing that he's not just a super speedway expert. He can get around these 1-mile short tracks as well. And, he's definitely putting some pressure right here on Bobby Rafferty. for this spot right here. I was curious to see, Ellis, how Andrew Schob and Kevin Winker would fare. I didn't think they would fall back as quickly here, maybe compared to some other tracks on those older tires. In fact, Andrew Schob actually is holding station pretty well right here in the 6th spot. So we'll have to see. We're going to watch the progress of both those drivers and see how this goes for them.
You often talk about, Chris, the balance can really be thrown off a car by taking 2 tires. Is it actually better to take no tires than 2 tires in a situation like this, as we watch Schob on completely old tires do a little bit better job holding off some of these cars than Winker has early?
Yeah, it's hard to say, you know, without actually driving the car to know exactly what's going on. I will say that I think that, you know, in my experience, taking 2 tires makes the car pretty loose in most situations. So, yeah, maybe it's just a situation of that initial restart. You know, that's also when the car is at its loosest anyway, you know, is on the restart. So, yeah, we'll have to watch and see maybe how this transpires over the course of the run right here. It looks like the 42's definitely got it back going again right here. As saw Derek Jewett right here putting some pressure right here on Bobby Rafferty.
Yeah, Jewett in that number 45's got some speed in 4th position, looking to claim 3rd. Hey, Chris, in the chat right now, Connor's wanting to crank it up. How about we do some trivia? We'll ask the question, we'll put the question on the screen, and then we'll do a crank it up while we allow some time for the folks to think about the answer to the question. Playing trivia for a diecast tonight. We're going to do 3 questions. First 2 correct answers in the chat. Just type in what your best guess is. Letters are fine. You don't have to type the full answer to the question. First question of the night. We've got Arizona-themed trivia tonight. What is the official state reptile of Arizona? Is it A, the Gila monster, B, a rattlesnake, C, the desert tortoise, or D, the horned lizard? What is the official state reptile of Arizona? Put in your answers, best guesses into the chat. First 2 correct answers get a point for diecast trivia tonight. While we're letting you think, we're going to do a crank it up and hear the horsepower behind these cars here in Phoenix. Be right back after you hear these horsepower from the cars. All right, back here from Phoenix. You heard it. Crank it up, Connor. There you go.
Caution's
Last
out,
chance. Caution is out on the speedway. Let's see if we can't figure out what happened. Who might have gotten turned around here. Looking for any evidence of malfeasance, and it looks like it was the 88 of Robert McKay. Tough night. Maybe Reggie Kine.
Not sure if that was Robert. I know he's in the pits right here. I don't know if he was in there before. Like I said, we are having some data issues, but we're going to go back here and see if maybe we can figure this out. Oh, yeah, it was Robert here. We're going to go back and see if we can see what happened to him. Looks like he's got a little bit of damage right here. And, yeah. Riding. Oh, yeah, coming off of turn 2 right there. Yeah, it looks like he's got some wheel damage right there. Tagged the inside wall into the outside wall. Yeah, unfortunately, a good bit of damage right here, and I think his night might be done, unfortunately, with all that damage that he has.
I think you are right. Hey, while we're under caution, this might be a good chance to see if we can maybe check in with Bobby Rafferty. You want to take a shot here, Chris?
Yeah, let's see if we can do it.
All right. Hey, Bobby Rafferty, this is Ellis and Chris in the broadcast booth. You got a chance for a 15-second interview.
What's going on?
Hey, man, you are making it look easy. We appreciate you taking just a few seconds. That's a good-looking car, man, but it's even better looking out front. You're in third position. You've been the most consistent car tonight. We're getting ready for 30 to go here. What might be the final run of the evening? Kind of walk us through what you think you're going to have to do to make this win happen after 2 top 10 finishes to start the season. What are you going to do to get a win tonight?
Man, I don't know. I think Colin and Daniel both have the pace on me. I won the truck race here last night, but this thing is an absolute dump truck, and it's not agreeing with me. So I'm kind of holding back a tiny bit right now, trying to save a little bit of right front. I'm praying that by doing that, I'll have something for these top 2 guys, as Daniel chose low. I'm actually kind of surprised about that, but I'm hoping just be able to save a little bit of right front tire here and have something for these guys, but they're very quick.
All right, man. Bobby, good luck. We'll let you get to it. Go to work. 30 laps left, my friend. Good luck.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, so you heard from second place Bobby Rafferty. He is going to be on the outside. He mentioned Colin Bollinger choosing the inside, Chris. He was a little bit surprised. Let's see if he can't use that to his advantage. Pace car going to be pulling off about a half a lap till we hit the final stretch of this race. 30 laps to go. He mentioned it. Handling like a dump truck. Is that going to happen to the other cars? We've seen Colin Bollinger lead early, get out to a second lead, and then lose it to some cars with maybe a little bit faster long run speed. Is that going to be the story here in the closing laps? We're getting ready to find out. The restart's going to be on Bollinger on the inside. It's his choice to go. He goes right at the end of that good Geico restart zone. We're back. Green flag racing here from Phoenix. Bollinger gets away. Now Rafferty's got to do business with Daniel Dow. Rafferty on the outside. Daniel Dow taking a shot to the inside. He's got the 71 of Janik and the 78 of Hunt, as well as Derek Jewett in the 45, all working his back bumper as well. It's off to the races. Final part of the race. One car on the wall. Might have been Jewett there. Down the backstretch they go. The 78 of Hunt tries to get by the 23 of Winkfield, and it looks like he might get by. But boy, 3 wide right behind them as they go through the dogleg. One of the wildest stretches of track in NASCAR on the circuit. One car high. I think that's the 79, Chris, of Harold Tucker, who had some adversity on the start of this race, but kudos to the number 79, Harold Tucker III, who has come out of nowhere here in the closing portion of this race. He is rolling that outside line like a boss right now.
He is. He's really making it work, doing a nice job right here. Hadn't seen much of him, like you said, Ellis, the whole race, and here he is right here showing up in the top 10 here towards the end.
That's when it counts. We're going to have to start calling Harold Tucker III the closer. He might take that title from Kevin Harvick.
Oh, Kevin Winker. Ellis, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Kevin Winker and, Rayshon Winkfield. Oh, they were arguing over space there. Winkfield put a block on him down the backstretch there.
And Winker was not afraid to use the chrome horn on Winkfield, who drops back at least 5 or 6 spots in front of a crowd of 6 or 7 cars. That opens the door for Christian Barnes in that number 27 to the inside of Kevin Winker. He shows a nose, but Winkers looks like he's going to be able to close the door down into turns number 3 and 4 as they get ready to cross the start-finish line. Just 28 laps to go here. Go ahead.
I didn't mean to interrupt. We do have a battle for second right here between the 71 and the 7. That's Evan Janik and Bobby Rafferty battling for that second spot.
Yeah, where did that 71 come from? That's some speed we haven't seen all night. Been running the top 10, but he's now up to second. Rafferty makes the move to the inside, going down into turns 3 and 4. Can he make it stick and reclaim the second position? Bollinger's got to be loving what he's seeing right now in that rear view mirror, Chris. Rafferty throws it down into the dogleg to no avail. He's still on the inside. Cannot clear that 71. Janik into the wall. Little bit of tire smoke there. He maintains the speed and rolls that corner center off down the backstretch to outright take second position.
Yeah, and Ellis, you asked where he came from. I believe, thanks to our good buddy in the chat right here, Joshua Gillen, I think he's had 2 pit road speeding penalties tonight, possibly. And he has had to recover from those. He's done a great job, and every single time that we've seen him, Ellis, I've noticed that car really rotates, especially down here on this end. Oh, some contact!
Contact between Rafferty and Janik. no harm, no foul. Both drivers keep it going straight, but no love loss here down into turn 3 and 4. Janik and Rafferty in the number 7 and 71 still continue to do battle. You can see Rafferty using that dog leg to the best of his advantage, side by side, equal down into turns 1 and 2. That outside line, Chris, you mentioned it. The 71 is just able to roll off the corner to the backstretch. And look at the speed he can carry. He clears Bobby Rafferty. Does he have anything for Colin Bollinger, though, who crosses the line to come to lap 108? 23 laps left here from Phoenix Raceway. It has been a great race so far. We appreciate you if you have stuck with us. Chris, to answer that last trivia question, what is the official state reptile of Arizona? Both chat answers were incorrect. It's actually the Gila monster, the official state reptile of Arizona. Heavy contact there between, again, Rafferty and Janik. Janik runs Rafferty up the track. There's Winker now to second, third. He takes the dog leg. Can he claim that second position outright? He's got fresh tires. Can he work his way back up to the lead? Does he have enough time? Third place at Atlanta last week in his debut. He's looking to best that with a second or maybe even a win tonight. But Bobby Rafferty's going to have something to say about it. They go down the backstretch, lap 109, headed to the line to come to lap 110.
Yeah, and Winker right now has the speed. He is really, really impressive right now. He came to pit road, Ellis. I think that we have our question answered. I think he took fuel only on the previous stop, Ellis, and took 4 tires on this recent stop. So he has the freshest tires by about 15 laps right here.
So advantage Winker. How much of those tires has he used up, though, when we come down to these 20 laps? Has he worn all the good off as he really reels Bollinger in? Bollinger's not going to be able to do much here. Winker, you can see the closing rate as they head down into turns 1 and 2. Winker right to the back bumper. Rafferty right there, as well as Christian Barnes. Bollinger might be in trouble here, Chris.
Yeah, that thing right there, that 42, is rotating through the center of turns 1 and 2. And he is all over the back bumper of Colin Bollinger. This is going to be a hard 20 laps. I don't know if he can do it. That car is just rotating too good through the center of the corner.
Yeah, Bollinger trying his best to hold off Kevin Winker, who's got the freshest tires to the inside. Winker, you can see them lifting off the throttle, the exhaust coming out of the pipes. Contact, the 27 of Barnes might have made contact with Evan Janik in the 71. Everyone's still going straight. And, yeah, you mentioned it, Chris. The gloves are off at this point. No holds barred racing. 19 laps to go. Boy, they are letting it all hang out here, Chris. Bollinger's been able to hold Winker off. Have the tires had time to equalize just a little bit? Kevin Winker's going to answer that question. You can see how much he's able to dive a little bit faster down to the corner, but Bollinger, is the strategy for Bollinger, do you have to run that high line now to hold off any passes by Kevin Winker?
He can't give up the top in 1 and 2, Ellis. He has got to stay up top in 1 and 2. I think that's his best bet to win right here. He can't let Kevin Winker get to his right rear in turns 1 and 2. If he does, I think it's game over. Yeah, so he's going to try to make sure that Winker has to run this bottom lane down here in turns 1 and 2.
How willing do you think Kevin Winker is to use that front bumper to maybe dislodge the 53 of Colin Bollinger? If that happens, Bobby Rafferty kind of laying there in wait. And if these drivers are driving hard, are they using more tires than Bobby Rafferty and Andrew Schob back in there in the 3rd and 4th position? Lots of questions we still have to answer here. Kevin Winker driving really hard. Bollinger driving just as hard, if not harder. Chris, there's Winker to the outside. Is that going to be enough to maybe get a run off the corner? Doesn't look like it. And you mentioned Bollinger got to do everything he can to stay to the outside here. Bobby Rafferty's got his hands full with Andrew Schob there. And Schob looking to maybe enter his name into the chat to see if he can't get a win here in the final 15 laps from Phoenix.
Yeah, and Ellis, Andrew Schob is on the exact same strategy as Kevin Winker right here. They came to pit road at the same time, put on 4 fresh tires. So that 69 car right here is trying to break up into the podium spots.
Yeah, Schob going for it. Bobby Rafferty, we talked to him. just a few laps ago. Car not handling well for the ninth place finisher 2 weeks in a row for Bobby Rafferty. Looking like he's going to best that, but I don't think it's going to be the win he wants unless we have a massive change of events here in the final 14 laps. Bollinger still doing yeoman's work out there, holding on to the lead, right now on board right now with Kevin Winker in that number 42. Cool as a cucumber right now, got fresher tires, maybe biding his time a little bit, waiting for the final laps to get by that 53 of Bollinger. But you mentioned it, give a lot of credit to that Dr. Doom. Is it Dr. Doom? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Dr. Doom, number 53. He's making it tough on Kevin Winker to get by right now. But Chris, you can see what this is doing to the field behind them. It's stacking them up just a little bit. You might have another couple cars enter their names in the chat looking for a win tonight if something were to happen between Bollinger and Winker. But right now, Bollinger, he's doing everything you said he needed to do. He's you see him get a little bit of contact with the wall there at the start-finish line. 12 laps to go here. We mentioned it just felt like a minute ago. We were saying he's going to have to hold on for 20 laps. He's held on for 8 laps, and you can see Winker's able to get a nose down there to the bottom, but he just can't carry the speed off the corner. 1 car in the wall, 2 cars in the
Rafferty in the wall.
One of them was a lap down. Rafferty a little bit further back in the 7, also in the wall right now. But right now, it's all about Kevin Winker and Bollinger.
Yeah,
Christian Barnes back there in that RC Cola car getting by Andrew Schob.
Yeah, and Ellis, it seems like Bollinger has opened it up here in recent laps. So, you mentioned where's that crossover point going to be. We might have crossed it right here where, Kevin Winker had to use up so much tire. He's heated those tires up trying to, drive his way up through the field right here. As maybe the same thing has happened also to Andrew Schob as he's under pressure right here from Christian Barnes.
Yeah, I think you're right. Schob used up that Goodyear rubber early in the first 12, 15 laps of this final run, or potential final run of the race now, with just coming to 10 to go. And we watched the 71 of Evan Janik kind of work his way back up. Janik involved a little bit of contact with Bobby Rafferty about 10 laps ago, set him back about 4 or 5 positions. He's looking to climb his way back up through the field. Bollinger stabilizes the lead right now. However, Chris, down to 0.16 tenths of a second, climbs up just a little bit. Severe issues, not sure what happened there. We're back now, looks like. Bollinger in the lead, Kevin Winker second. Chris, you having issues on your end?
Yeah, that was on my end. So, yeah, we're back and running here, back in green. So
okay. I was just making sure we were still there. Yeah, Bollinger is scored as your leader, but that lead is stabilized just a little bit. We thought Kevin Winker might be losing a little bit of ground to Bollinger, but he is clawing back right now. It's just about 3-4 car lengths, and then 3 or 4 car lengths back from Winker. It's Bobby Rafferty, who has slowly crept back up into the picture. 3 cars within 6 tenths of a second right now with just 8 laps to go here. Race number 3 of the Mystic Racing League. It is going to be a barn burner, Chris. And I think it's safe to say Daniel Dow's back in 8th position. We're going to have our second winner of the season tonight. Among the top 7, no one has won. Bollinger right now building an even bigger lead.
Yeah.
Rafferty now to second place by Kevin Winker. Does Rafferty, has he saved some? Has he got a little bit of energy left in the tank? He's going to try to run that high line. Bollinger's been making it work. He was able to hold Winker's charge off as Winker slips back to 3rd. Rafferty said that car was pushing like a dump truck, but I think everyone might be in that similar situation right now. Rafferty closed the gap right there by about 1/10 of a second. Has he found a little something here, Chris, in that number 7?
He might have, and I look at the 42 of Kevin Winker. I watch that line that he has down here in 1 and 2, and I see how high he is now. He's working his way to the bottom. See Bobby Rafferty also doing the same thing. Both those cars look like they're really tight, like they're having a hard time getting them to turn. But Bobby Rafferty is gaining on Colin Bollinger, and he's gaining on him fairly quickly, Ellis.
Yeah, he is chewing up about 1/10 of a second a lap, and with only 4/10 of a second, it's 5 laps to go. You can see the battle forecast there, projected overtake in 4 laps, Chris. That is going to be coming to the white flag. This is setting up to be a barn burner. Just 4.5 laps left. Can Bollinger hold on, or will Bobby Rafferty pull a rabbit out of the hat somehow and walk away with the win here after leading much of the first half of the race. The lead stabilizes a little bit there. Rafferty didn't pick up as much as he did that last lap, and you can see the projection has changed just a little bit. There, Rafferty sails it into turn number 1 and 2. Coming to the backstretch, it looks like he might carry a little bit of speed out the corner. Can he chew into that lead and get it down into the 3/10 bracket? He does, just barely that time by. Can he work that outside line? We see Bollinger be masterful up there, and it looks like Bollinger is going to claw away a little bit more time from Rafferty. Rafferty's going to have to make something drastic happen here, Chris, if he's going to get by Bollinger. Bollinger now up to 4/10, about 4 car lengths, now 5 car lengths lead for Colin Bollinger in his debut here in the Mystic Racing League at Phoenix. Race number 3, that lead stays at about 4-5 car lengths. Rafferty closed it a little bit that time, Chris, but they're coming to 2 laps to go. I'm just not sure if Rafferty's going to have enough in the tank to be able to make this work.
Yeah, listen, it looks like the 7 of Rafferty is having a hard time down in turns 3 and 4. It seems like, we saw him hit the apron a couple laps ago down there, saw him kind of miss the bottom the next lap down there. It seems like that car is just, the handle has gone away a little bit as he got closer. He is driving hard, man. He's trying really, really hard. You can definitely see it in the attitude of the car. Colin Bollinger is just not making any mistakes, and he's not making it easy for him. And it's hard to gain ground here, Ellis, as we got the white flag.
With the Whiplash Sim Cams, white flag flies. This race is official. Colin Bollinger about 5-6 car lengths over Bobby Rafferty. Unless something happens, pending a mistake by Bollinger, it's going to be win number 1 in race number 1 from the driver, the number 53. Dr. Doom claims the day here at Phoenix. Bollinger wins. Rafferty second. Evan Janik barely going to get by for 3rd position to finish out the podium. Heck of a finish tonight, Chris. We didn't know who was going to win until that final lap. Rafferty did everything he could to get that 2nd place finish of that Ancient World Gaming Toyota Supra, but it's the Supra of Colin Bollinger who walks away with that win. We're going to hear from your top 3 finishers here momentarily. Give us just a moment, and we'll bring those guys into the booth. We're going to try to grab Evan Janik first. Finished 3rd in that number 71. Let's see if we can pull him in. I'm not sure if I see Evan Janik here in the chat. We might have to take a pass on that one for now, unless he pops in here shortly. Chris, you let me know if you see him, but my eyes are not laying a view on that number 71. We're going to go ahead and pull in Bobby Rafferty for the moment, who was your 2nd place finisher. Let's get him in the broadcast booth here.
Colin, he
nope, Bobby Rafferty. You are live. We're getting you just a little bit early.
I'm actually talking to my stream. Wasn't expecting you to pull me up. Sorry about that.
You're good. Sorry. It might have taken Evan a second to get in, so we wanted to get you while we waited for him. But
absolutely.
Congratulations on that 2nd place finish tonight, man. That was hard earned. We talked to you coming to that final restart, and you said that car was pushing like a dump truck. Was it still handling as bad in those final 30 laps or so?
I figured something out with my line that made it, we'll say, tolerable. But look, fair play to Colin. Colin ran a great race. He was very, very fast. I think we were a hair quicker going down towards the end. But I would have needed a number of laps more to even get him. So, like I said, fair play to him. Congrats on the win. And, we move on to next week. That's all.
Man, it was a great race. We are headed to Auto Club, I believe, next week. Talk to us about what your hopes and dreams are for there. Is it a little more similar to maybe what we've seen the first 2 races? We talked about the cream rising to the top tonight. Not that the guys who finished up front at the last 2 races aren't amazing, but this was a technical track. What can we expect from next week?
Well, I mean, I'll just say it. The super speedway race, and that's the lottery. Anybody can win. I was excited to come to what I call and consider the real racetracks. Auto Club holds a special place in my heart. Last championship I ran for in Xfinity, we actually won the championship there in at Auto Club in the Xfinity car. So I'm looking forward to it. I enjoy that track a lot. I enjoy the track, car combo. So I think it'll be good racing. You'll see multi-groove, bottom, top, middle. It all works at Auto Club. So I think we're on for a heck of a race next week.
Man, congratulations on that second place finish. Fun watching the end of the race there. Appreciate you taking a moment to talk to us before that conclusion. Before we let you go celebrate, you got any shout outs?
No, absolutely, and thank you for giving me the time. I got to thank my team, Ancient World Gaming, as well as all of our partners. Got to thank Next Level Racing, Swordog, Simrap Market, Ryko Performance, new sponsor to us, or two new sponsors to us, Glitch Energy and Abruzzi Racewear. They jumped on board with us. I also got to thank the guys over at my Coke eNASCAR team that I'm part owner in. Want to just give a shout out to Seth and Ryan at FGR Excel eRacing. We had a rough Daytona this past week, but we'll regroup for not this upcoming week, but the following week. And then obviously want to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast and thank MRL and all the admins over here. Everybody puts in a lot of hard work to give us a place to come and race and have fun, so we couldn't do it without you guys.
Hey, man, appreciate you, Bobby Rafferty. Congrats on that second place finish. We'll let you go celebrate.
Thank you very much, my friend.
Sir. All right, so you heard from Bobby Rafferty. Now we're going to hear from our third place finisher, a little bit out of order tonight, but that is par for the course. Evan Janik finished second. We're going to go ahead and hear from him. Chris, I'll let you take it away. Finished third, actually.
Yeah, Evan Janik, our third place finisher. This is a Slingshot booth. You got a copy?
Yep.
Well, Evan, man, we saw you all night. We saw the speed in that number 71. We saw you working your way up through the field, but you might have to enlighten us a little bit. Did you have a little bit of trouble on pit road tonight on one or two occasions?
I didn't have any trouble on pit road. I think the race control booth had the trouble, so we'll have to talk about it after. But either way, it was a good run. Thanks to all my sponsors, and even with the trouble, it was fun racing.
Yeah, it seemed like it was really difficult to complete passes out there tonight, that you really had to work on the guys in front of you. It seemed like you definitely had some speed in the center of the corner to be able to do that. Was it difficult setting up those passes all night?
No, once you get in the rhythm, you just gotta see what the guys in front of you are doing, and you'll be able to learn their weaknesses. So it just takes time, which, I mean, it was a long race, 130 laps, but just not enough for me to get back to the front as much as I'd like to. But, I mean, you just gotta go where they aren't.
When you definitely did that all night tonight coming from the back. It was definitely fun, entertaining to watch. Before we let you go celebrate this third place finish, you got any shout-outs?
Everybody watching at home, and again, my sponsors, everybody on the car, in this and in real life here at Lancaster. So big thank you to them.
All right, bud. Well, congratulations on a great finish. We're looking forward to seeing you next week. Congratulations.
All right. Sounds good. See you.
All right, that was Evan Janik, third place finisher. Now let's hear from the winner, Colin Bollinger. Hey, Colin Bollinger, this is Ellis and Chris in the Slingshot booth. You got a copy?
Oh, yes, sir.
Hey, man, congratulations on that win. Full honesty here, full transparency, we thought you were a goner on that final run. We thought with fresher tires coming from behind you, you weren't going to be able to hold off Kevin Winker in particular. But, my God, you put on a clinic on that outside. Walk us through the mentality of what you had to do those final 20 laps and where your head was.
I mean, honestly, I was kind of upset. We get that caution there, and I already had maybe a second lead at that point, maybe a little less, and I thought it was going to be easy cruising to the end, and then, like you said, we had the caution, and we got no tires left, so I don't know. I was just waiting. I was just trying to get as far away from the fresh tires as I could, and Winker got to me, and I just kind of gave him little to no room. I mean, as much room without wrecking, obviously, and just held the middle and high side on him, and then just like that, he started falling away. Then I think Rafferty got to him, and then they all started battling, and they gave me a little more time. And then after that, it was just hitting the marks and brought her home. So
You had a lot of work to do over the course of the race. What happened at the beginning of the race after starting in the front row? We saw you drop back. What exactly happened?
I made a mistake. I was looking at the restart zone, and I got into the box and just went, and I forgot. It's the first start of the race. It doesn't matter once we get in the zone. So I had to do a pass through, but luckily we didn't get a lap down. I think they wrecked right as I was going into the pits, so that saved me for sure.
Okay, thanks for enlightening us on that, man. That makes this win even more special for you. Headed to Auto Club next week. You looking forward to that?
Oh yeah, Auto Club in any car here, any series is always fun. So I mean, and with these guys, it should be a good time as well. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Oh, we'll be looking forward to seeing you out there on the West Coast swing once again. Colin Bollinger, you got any shout-outs before we let you go celebrate that win tonight?
Oh yeah, just got Team Delusional. That's the team that I race with in pretty much every league. And Daniel Plant Smith, he makes the paints that I ran tonight, like the Doom paint that I had tonight. So yeah, just shout out to those guys.
It's a good-looking scheme you got there, by the way.
Thank
Points for that one. All right, man. Colin Bollinger, win number 1 on the season. We'll look forward to seeing you next week at Auto Club. Have a great night. Go celebrate that victory.
Thank you, guys.
Chris, man, Colin Bollinger fought his way through some adversity tonight, and I think we can say the same about us up in the broadcast booth with some technical difficulties. iRacing was all over the place tonight with telemetry and data. It made our job harder than it needed to be, but we made it through it, and these drivers 1 through 22 all made it through it. Well, most of them made it through it. We talked to the top 3. Christian Barnes finishes 4th. Came through the field towards the end. Kevin Winker, we thought he was going to have a shot at the win, holds on for the top 5. Andrew Schob, yeoman's work, used those tires up a little bit early, has to settle for 6th place. Daniel Dalcris, we mentioned it, he was running up front, top 3, but that last 30, the caution with 30 laps to go set him back just a little bit. Settles for 7th after 2 wins to start the season. Alex Pollock, that heart rate was high all night, finishes 8th. Derek Jewett, really, this does not show the speed that 45 car had tonight, Chris, with that 9th place finish. Rayshon Winkfield also kind of similarly, top 5, top 6 most of the night. Those drivers had to settle for 9th and 10th, not the finishes they probably hoped for tonight.
Yeah, definitely not. But we definitely saw some speed out of some of those guys that you mentioned, Ellis. Kevin Winker coming up through the field right there, making things very entertaining right there in the closing stages. I really want to thank all of our viewers for hanging in there with us tonight. We definitely made the most of it with some difficult technical issues. I promise you, if you don't normally tune in, we normally don't have this many issues. So it's it was
a weird night.
It was definitely weird, but yeah, we appreciate everybody hanging in there. 11 through 20 is going to run like this right here. Adam Holson is going to finish 11th. Gavin Henson ran in the top 10 a lot of the night. He's going to have to settle for 12th. We saw Harold Tucker III right there make a charge there. Towards the latter stages of the race, he fell back to 13th though. Caleb Hunt is going to be the last car on the lead lap in 14th. Brandon Willard 15th. Joshua Gillen, want to thank him for all of his help tonight in the chat. He's going to finish 16th. Robert McKay is going to finish in 17th. Bradley Knopfsnyder in 18th. Reggie Kime in 19th, and Zach White's going to round out the top 20.
It was a tough night for Robert McKay. I hated to see that because they were one of the sponsors for this race, the Manufort Crafts sponsor tonight. that custom woodworking, jar openers, and puzzle boxes out of Eastern Tennessee and Columbia. Struggled, but hey, it's always nice and fun to have a race named after your sponsor. So he'll be back next week, though, at Auto Club. I have no doubts about that. The rest of the running order tonight, final 2 drivers to finish, 21st and 22nd, Devin Lyons and Jared Knopsider, respectively. Tough night for those guys early on in the race. Dropped out first 15, 20 laps or so. Chris, man, it was an action-packed night on the track and definitely in the booth. Still some kinks we're working out on our end. Auto Club next week, I think it's going to be just as intense, if not more intense. You and I just got done with an Auto Club race in the Xfinity cars last night, the league that we run, and boy, it was intense. you can have a lot of opportunities to pass, but it can be frustrating at the same time, depending on whether you're the person being passed or the person making the pass. So expect high speeds and a lot of fun next week at Auto Club. I think it's probably all we got for tonight. Race number 3 of Mystic Racing League in the books. Colin Bollinger winning the race, going to catapult him up in the point standings a little bit. Going to have a point shakeup. I'm sure Daniel Dow might lose a little bit of ground to the rest of the drivers after a 7th place finish tonight. Auto Club's going to be fun and exciting next week. Appreciate everyone tuning in tonight and sticking with us through those technical difficulties. For Slingshot Racing Media, Mystic Racing League, it's Ellis Thomas and Chris Smith in the booth. We're going to talk to y'all next week from sunny Southern California at Auto Club. Same time, same channel. Have a great week, everybody.